So I just got back from at least 3 countries. Singapore, I think, is a country, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in Civ, it's a city-state. Are they countries? Or
I love geographical knowledge coming from Civ.
Well, that's the only place I get it after school. And I had a literally useless social studies teacher. So I'm just going based on what Mr. Sid Meier, Professor Meier taught me.
It's a country.
Wonderful. Then I was just in 3 countries. This was probably the most hectic vacation that I've ever been on. It was much harder work than being in office. I'm actually extremely grateful to be back at work. You know how long we were gone. We were gone for, I think, 12 days or something like that. We stayed in 6 different hotels.
Whoa.
And I was there with the whole family. Like my nuclear family, my sister-in-law and like her kids and everything, and my in-laws. So my wife's parents and my sister-in-law's parents.
It's a lot of people.
My
to
children's
shepherd
grandparents.
between hotels every 2 days.
And there was a lot of like family reunioning and, stuff. And there was a lot of, my wife is a bit of a type A. And so a lot of like, okay, today we're hitting the bird sanctuary, and then we're going to hit the something. Anyway, the point is that I'm going to try to tell you everywhere that I stayed, and I will probably get it wrong.
Got it.
I already forget, but we definitely started. No, stop. We started in Bali. So we started in Indonesia, and that was cool. I don't know. Maybe next week I'll show you guys some pictures or something. It'll be pretty cool.
Oh, those were awesome, actually.
Yeah,
that place looked sweet.
Yeah, the bird sanctuary seemed super cool.
Yeah.
We were in Bali, and then we went to Malaysia. First to Port Dickson. That's right. And then we went to Kuala Lumpur, and then we went to Singapore, and then we came to home. And the reason that I didn't kind of address it on WAN Show last week is I would strongly prefer, when we're on vacation, to kind of tell you guys that once I'm back. But I didn't really get an opportunity to not have people know that I was on vacation overseas with my family because it blew up on r/Malaysia.
Yeah.
I guess why don't I talk about the tech mall that I went to? I have now completed more than a trifecta of sick Asian tech malls. So I've been to, and I'm going to butcher this, it's like Hua Huang Bay or something like that. I could have looked up what it was called again before the show. In fact, I may have, but I wouldn't remember it if I did. So whatever. The one that's in, oh crap. Wow, my brain is so bad. The Chinese tech hub.
Shenzhen?
Yes, thank you, Shenzhen. So I went to that one with Scotty from Strange Parts. That was really cool. I went to Sim Lim Square in Singapore like 9 years ago, the last time I went and visited Yvonne's family in Southeast Asia. I went to that sick tech mall in Taipei last time I was there in Taiwan last year. And then now I've been to Plaza Lo Yat. I just remember that I was trying not to gain weight on this trip. And so I'm like, oh yeah. So I picked the Lo Yat Plaza. So that, like low fat.
I thought you were referencing no gyat.
Speaking of fat, is that a thing?
Sort of.
No gyat?
Gyat means like butt.
I know what that means.
So
Is you after?
yeah.
Okay. Anyway, the point is Plaza Lo Yat. Super cool. Shout out the guys at the top of the escalators that like try and make sure if you want to buy a laptop. Do you want to buy a laptop? Everyone else was super cool.
That's so aggressive.
Oh, dude, they're like, what are the odds I'm here for a laptop?
Especially that one.
There's literally everything in this place.
You probably want to like browse a little bit.
Yeah. No, dude, they're crazy. Yeah, but other than that, man, it was super cool. The reason that I went there was not to make a video because I was on vacation, but I happened to have one of our little audio recorder things with me because Elijah needed a clip of me on a beach, and I was like, well, what better place to get that than when I'm on the beach in... I guess that was in Bali when I recorded that one, I think. I don't know, the whole thing's kind of a blur, to be honest with you. So anyway, I had one of my little audio recorders, and like I'm dailying an iPhone, so I just gave Yvonne my iPhone, and we, that's not the part of the story I was on yet. So the reason I decided to make a video was because I needed a micro HDMI cable. I made the same mistake that I have made previously, bringing my ROG portable display for the plane to kind of set up in the middle so the kids can play games. And it takes a micro HDMI input or a Type-C input, but because I have a first generation Ally and also a switch, there's no way on either of those devices to charge that device while also outputting Type-C to the display. I couldn't output from the switch at all because I forgot a micro HDMI adapter cable, and I didn't bring an HDMI cable at all because I assumed that my hotel rooms would have HDMI cables between whatever streaming box and the TV, which actually only half of them did. So midway through the trip, I'm like, okay, I'm getting a bloody HDMI cable and I'm getting that micro HDMI adapter so that we can hook the display up to the switch, or I can power my display and output from the Ally at the same time because the first gen Ally only has one Type-C. So on the new Ally, you'd be able to just output to the display, power the display like that, and then plug in the power to the Ally, and then you could have continuous power delivery all the way through. I think, because... I don't know, that display is kind of funky because I tried to power it and then also USB-C output into it, and then my Ally started going like it was getting into like charging mode all the time, and then I had my phone plugged into it and I was running my finger along the side of it and it was like a weird feeling. I don't know, maybe my charger wasn't grounded properly or something like that. Anyway, the point is I needed a cable. And what better place to go than, it turns out, the huge tech mall that was literally a 7-minute walk from my hotel. So I went there and I was like, well, this will be really simple. I'll just find a cable. I was like, okay, well, probably not just any shop. Okay, I'll go into like a camera shop because I need micro HDMI, and some cameras use that awful standard just for space savings. And I went into one and they were like, oh, that'll be $40. And I was like, oh, okay, you mean like
local currency,
Malaysian ringgit or whatever. And they're like, oh, no, 40 US dollars. And I was like, excuse me, for a micro HDMI cable?
No.
You have got to be kidding me right now. Like, you can get adapters for like $2 and then like a cable for, $5 to $10. And that doesn't mean I expect to pay that at retail. Obviously there's a convenience tax, but that was clearly a foreigner tax, and no, thank you. So I kind of poked around and went on to a different floor and finally found a place that was basically like AliExpress, but in retail store. Like, they just had, box of bulk cables here, box of other more different bulk cables there, and it was great. It was like the bulk candy aisle section at the supermarket, but for tech. And then I found these other really cool stores, and then I noticed that so many of the shops had like 50 series in stock.
Oh.
Even like 5090s, 5070 Ti's, like actually like good ones. Pricing was, well, you know what? I'll save it for the video, but pricing was not what you would expect. Whatever you were expecting, probably it wasn't it. But like, dude, seriously, there were more 50 series and AMD 9000 series cards in stock in that tech mall than I could probably find scouring the entire North American e-tail like online inventory. Like, I kid you not, every single little hole in the wall shop had probably 3 to 10 50 series cards and like a handful of 9000 series.
You know what could be? I don't know if it's worthy of a full format video, but it could be kind of interesting at Computex. Like, can you find GPUs in Taiwan?
Yeah,
because you can't find them in the States right now.
You almost certainly could.
I bet you can.
So anyway, I talk a little bit about what the market dynamics that might be at play here are. One thing that I don't really touch on because it's like unscripted and I'm just kind of walking around shooting little clips when I think of it, and I didn't really think about it at the time. is that it could be strategic. It could be that if I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to NVIDIA and their board partners, sending a couple of GPUs to each of all of these retail shops limits the ability of someone like a miner or an AI farm or whatever to buy in bulk. It maximizes the opportunity for an individual gamer to go in and just buy a card and take it home.
This is a big benefit of the doubt.
But that's a huge benefit of the doubt thing. So I legitimately don't know. I don't know how it is, and I'm serious. I'm talking like the bigger shops had them. The more like a Canada Computers or Memory Express or like a tiny Micro Center is probably the best way that I could describe them. Those guys had them, but especially it was the little like hole in the wall shops. You know what I mean by that, right? Like you go by and it's basically a doorway, and then like that's it. It's like a long doorway, essentially. It's
effectively a closet.
Yeah.
Just a big one.
Kind of like the one that I bought that super high-end gaming system from back when we did that Taiwan video. And they'll just have a bunch of them on the shelf. I'm like, yo, are those boxes? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, right, but like, are they just boxes? They're like, no, there's just stuff in them. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Like, what? You got to be kidding me, right?
That is pretty wild.
Yeah, so then there was that, and then I was kind of going, well, okay, yeah, this is probably a video at this point, because then I also needed I wanted a Switch dock, but not like the big chunky first party dock, because I brought a dock with me.
The first party dock like actually sucks.
Yeah, I brought a dock with me, but it wasn't working, and I have two docks at home that I bought off like AliExpress or something, and one of them works and one of them doesn't, and I gambled and I lost. I brought the one that didn't work, and I don't know, it probably worked at some point, like it probably worked with the non-OLED version or something, I don't know, but the point is, I tried it on the trip, it wasn't working, I was like, crap, I grabbed the wrong one. So I also needed one of those, but I didn't want like the bulky first party dock, I wanted just like a little sleek cable style dock. And so when I was there just getting the cable or looking for the cable, I just didn't bother buying that, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna leave, and then I'll come back tomorrow with Yvonne and we'll make a video. It was actually really fun, but it completely blew my cover, because while I got in and out of there with like 2 selfies, the first day when I was just like kind of scouting it out and determining that, oh yeah, no, this is like definitely a video, I should just come back with Yvonne. The second time around, I think the r/Malaysia post has people replying to the top post with their own selfies. Like it was kind of hilarious. It was really fun. The vibe in there was really good. If you ever find yourself in KL, definitely stop by, whether you need to buy anything or not, because it's an experience.
Is this the one that you're talking about?
Oh, so that's the one that I ultimately got the decent deal on my micro HDMI and my HDMI cable from.
I just love the not a thief.
Okay, I have been given some context for this.
Well, I'm assuming the security camera footage of a store.
Apparently, that's like a big thing in this mall, is people publicly shaming shoplifters with the security camera footage in their stores. So that guy got a completely different selfie with me that I don't think he posted. Instead, he went for the CCTV footage of me buying a cable.
And had to clarify that you weren't a thief.
But he was the owner or the manager of that store or something like that, and he did talk to me. He didn't talk to me about posting the selfie, but he did talk to me about taking it. And then he posted the CCTV footage. I'm glad he did say not a thief, because the kinds of assumptions people make about me these days, they may very well have gone there with it.
I would have thought you stole.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
I actually ended up double buying. Because I bought the micro HDMI cable the first day, because that was like the first thing I did when I walked in, while I was still just buying a cable and not making a video. And then I was like, well,
now you're buying a cable for the video.
I don't know if anyone actually recognized me the first day, because I was pretty much in and out of the mall. So the second day I go back and I'm just like, okay, this is the one part of it that I have to do a quick little reenact of. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to like waste their time, like go in, like ask them questions again about where things are and then like not buy their cable. So I bought the cable again. Anyway, the manager didn't talk to me till the end of the day when I'd already gone all the way to the top of the mall and then come back. And he was trying to give me something. And I don't really like taking stuff. I mean, you've seen my conversations with people about swag. It's not even just like, it's not like an ethical thing. Like I think that somehow I can be bought for, $6 worth of chocolates or whatever. It's just that I actually just do not want more things.
Yeah.
Like I have this conversation with everyone from friends to family to industry contacts where I'm just like, look, I'm at a stage in my life where if I want something, I can buy it pretty much regardless of what it is. So if I don't own it, I promise you 100% it is because I don't want it.
Yeah. Is this the one you're talking about?
No.
No, okay.
No, that's just a completely different one.
Is it a different store even?
Yeah, I love the guy over my shoulder. I didn't even notice him when we were taking the picture.
I didn't see that the first time.
Oh, that's great. No, that's a completely different store.
Okay, yeah.
I no longer remember what I was talking about. So that's going to have to be kind of your job today because I don't have RAM.
Keep it on track.
No. That's fine. Just if you do interrupt, which is totally fine because, taste of own medicine. Just you're going to have to tell me what I was talking about before.
So you had to buy the cable again.
Oh, yeah, right.
You went upstairs, back downstairs.
So he came up to me after, and I was like, hey, not only do I not want the thing you're offering me, but you can actually have this micro HDMI adapter and this HDMI cable back because I really don't need it. I only needed the one. And he's like, oh, no, I can give you a refund. I'm like, no, that's too much work. No, I'll just buy the cable. Just don't worry about it. Thank you for having a reasonable price and not trying to charge me a white guy tax.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was great. I don't actually remember what all I wanted to say about shopping at the tech mall, and this is my only notes in the doc, so
just in case you forget your own name.
Yeah, I thought about going back to Sim Lim Square, but then because we were in Singapore again, but I didn't have a reason. Like that's what I kind of like about these videos is other than the one, okay, half of them anyway, are me just needing something. And then the other ones, I have contrived some mission, like in Shenzhen, I wanted to, build a PC, a gaming PC, and see if I could get a better deal in the like tech hub of China. So that was a legitimate objective, even if I didn't really need a computer. I don't even remember what we did with the computer. We give it away
in
or something?
China. I think you gave it to his editor or something.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Pretty sure.
Okay.
It's a long time ago, but
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
And then in Taiwan, it was just inspired by like Jake's random picture of this like random nondescript shop that just for whatever reason had a ball and gaming PC. Turns out it's because they just like make ball and gaming PCs, so that's super cool. But then the one in Singapore was just because I was staying with people who had awful Wi-Fi and I just wanted to fix it. And then the one at Plaza Loyat was just because I forgot some stuff and I like needed to check. Man, I wish we had places like that here. Like, is there anywhere that you could go in person where you could possibly hope to find a micro HDMI adapter that you can think of off the top of your head? It probably exists.
Memory Express might have one.
To be clear, maybe. You better check the stock online before you go. Yeah, they might.
I wouldn't feel confident about it.
But
they might.
And
Micro Center's not up here, guys.
And an off-brand switch adapter.
Oh, yeah. So,
yeah, no shot.
So probably not.
No shot. And a 50 series.
Yeah.
Okay, now I just eliminated every retailer.
Staples? I don't think so.
Oh, that'd be a real long shot. But yeah, like that's the thing, man. It's so cool. It's like 6 stories, dude. It's like 6 floors of mostly just tech. The very bottom floor has like some jewelry and clothing, like boots and stuff, but also tech shops. And while there are definitely things about it that I think are a little weird, like they had more than one like HP branded store, like just a dedicated HP store. They had more than one like ROG branded store. And I'm kind of sitting here going, is tech really Starbucks? we're just the more like you know about the Starbucks effect or whatever, right? Where if they put two Starbucks on like opposite corners at the same intersection, they don't cannibalize each other. They just like sell twice as many or whatever.
Somehow, yeah.
That cannot possibly work for laptops. Like a laptop is not an impulse purchase, right? Am I missing something here?
Maybe it is, because there's those guys like flapping laptops in your face as you go up the escalator. So maybe people are just impulse buying laptops.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Chat wants a not a thief shirt. That's actually brilliant. We should definitely do a not a thief shirt.
Pretty funny.
Okay. Dan, do you mind forwarding that over to the CW team, please?
Righto.
Should it be you in that security picture? I'm trying to bring it up again.
I'm sure you'll find it, and that will be.
It's
fast.
not that amazing. I mean, if it's a big zoom in,
I kind of look like a thief.
it's just that on a shirt.
Not a
Not a thief shirt with a fake security tag still attached. That's kind of funny.
Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, we could even just like print a little like one of those like old school like bar style ones or something like that. That'd be pretty funny. Why don't we move on to our next topic? Dan, you're gonna have to be like on the little paper things today because I have no idea what's going on. I don't even know why there's jerky on my table.
You're allowed to eat it. You can eat the jerky.
I'm allowed to eat the jerky.
Absolutely.
Okay, my stomach is actually feeling a little unsettled right now, so I might have to eat jerky a little bit later. My body has no idea what's going on.
Three different countries.
Yeah, I dude.
with airplane food thrown in the mix.
No, actually, I didn't eat at all on the flight, and it's like 13 hours. So then I got home and I ate pretty light because I was feeling a little unsettled, and I think it's because of what I ate right before I got on the flight. I had a Subway sandwich, which normally I'm fine with. I like Happy Gilmore. The trailer for Happy Gilmore 2 looks fucking awful, like completely soulless, but Happy told me that the delicious cold cut honestly better spokesman than Jared, far less pedophilia. So shout out Happy Gilmore, Subway spokesman Happy Gilmore.
I prefer my sandwiches with no pedophilia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
Generally a good way to go.
You can ask for that in the store,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
That's good. The point is that I'm trying to make right now is that whether it was a language barrier or whether it was an ingredients availability barrier, they made it with processed cheese when I explicitly asked for cheddar. And processed cheese is not food. My body does not believe that it is food. And because I was so hungry, I ate a 6-inch, I ate half of that processed cheese sandwich, and my body is in rebellion now.
That happens.
My stomach is not impressed with me making that decision to continue eating it after the first bite. And so I am unsettled still, like 18, 19 hours later or whatever. But I will definitely have some jerky later, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Someone's apparently watching the show on a plane.
Dude, you can get pretty like decent streaming internet.
That's so crazy to me.
Yeah,
I believe them, but it's so crazy to me. I remember just as a test, I loaded up some game. I don't remember what it was. And I had on some plane like years ago, I had 3,000 ping. And the game functioned perfectly fine, but just everything was like so delayed. I just wanted to see what would happen. No, I don't think so, because like it was like too much. I was just actually so bad that it just nothing like it. I don't know.
Oh, do people not know what processed cheese is? Dude, did I talk about this on WAN Show? The experience I had in like a separate. I've been traveling the last 4 weekends in a row. I am like actually traveled out right now.
I'm a little traveled out right now too, which is rare.
Disneyland for the work thing, went to Texas for the Gamer House tour thing, and then the last 2 weeks I was over in Asia in 6 different hotels for 2 weeks. Like I am super traveled out. But did I talk about my experience at the airport on the WAN show where I was like trying to order a burger and I asked if the burger had processed cheese and they're like, it's American cheese. And I'm like, that doesn't mean anything to me. American cheese is like, I've heard American cheese used to describe cheddar cheese. It's kind of like freedom fries, like just American cheese. Like, yeah, that's utterly meaningless to me.
American cheese is actually a specific thing.
I think it means processed cheese.
But I think sometimes people use it for too many things.
Yeah, no, I've definitely...
It is, processed cheddar.
Yeah, okay.
American cheese is a type of processed cheddar cheese made from cheddar, Colby, or similar cheeses in conjunction with other stuff.
Also, you should not be allowed... The content of your cheese should have to be greater than 90% cheese for you to call it cheese. American cheese is just petroleum byproduct as far as I can tell.
I think they can't
American
call it
cheese-
cheese. I think it has to be like processed milk product or something.
Oh,
American cheese has a whole very specific history behind it where they were like trying to save farmers and they stored them in these like cheese caves and it's weird.
Anyway, the point that I'm trying to get to is that the lady behind the counter had no idea what I was talking about. I was like, is it like cheddar cheese or is it like processed cheese? Like, is it real cheese? She's like, it's American cheese. And I'm like, okay, right, but is it real cheese? I'll have to check with the chef. And I'm like, you're at a burger joint. There isn't a chef. Like it was like a fast food chain. I was like, what are you talking about? I just want to know if you're putting real food in the food.